brutal force on them.
Pretty brutal, not brutal, really brutal.
Hello friends and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily Reddit content. I'm hanging out with my little boy today, so you might hear him in the background, if you're lucky. But today we're jumping into rSlash EntitledParents. As always, I am quite looking forward to it. One of my favorite subreddits for sure. So without further delay, let's jump right into this first story. EntitledParents ruin peaceful lake community for years. My family has a country house near a lake. Fancy. And we usually spend most of our summer there. Most of the other families are nice, and their kids all get along and play together often. There was no significant drama between anybody. And then, the family from hell moved in. The first time we met them, my family and some other friends were eating pizza by the lake, and the entitled mom came and introduced herself while her kids swam in the water with my brother and I. My mom offered her a slice of pizza, and she accepted. About an hour later they left, but not before entitled mother said to her kids, "Hey kids, come help yourself to some pizza." That was a little weird since it was our pizza, but we let it slide. We should have taken it as a sign of what was coming. We got to know this family better, and the mom and dad were extremely condescending and arrogant, and the kids were both pretty bratty and poorly behaved. I was around the same age as their daughter, and I played with her at their house once, and she invited me to go onto the roof with her, and said,
"As long as my mom doesn't find out, I'll be fine."
I noped right out of there. The mom also claimed to be an expert dog trainer. When they've accidentally let at least 3 dogs escape their house or leash and get run over by cars. They even lost a pet reptile they shouldn't have been out of its terrarium, and instead of looking for it, they asked a pet psychic. They do this with all of their pets, and then they don't find them, and we've called them the dog killers because of this, but that's a different story. On to the main story. One 4th of July, my brother had built a raft for people to play on while they swam. Most of the kids were old enough to be safe on it, and they all loved it. Anyway, family from hell's demon child was splashing people, pushing people off the raft, generally being a demon. We had to protect the younger kids from him. As usual, his parents were ignoring his behavior, but this time, entitled dad came over to talk to my mom. ED entitled dad. M, my mom. Entitled dad.
Excuse me, can you tell your son to move his raft? My wife can't see her child.
Oh, so now you're paying attention to that hell spawn. Figures. Mom, the lifeguard's okay with it. I don't see what the problem is. Entitled dad.
You're not supposed to have anything that obscures people's vision. Please tell him to move it.
Mom, it's barely obscuring anyone's vision. It's not that big. Entitled dad.
Fine, I'm telling the lifeguard.
He went and complained to the lifeguard. Then called my mom over, and the lifeguard told her to move the raft. Keep in mind, the lifeguard was just trying not to start an argument. Her child was still perfectly in view, still pushing people off and being a terror, and all of the other kids were safe and enjoying it. So my mom had to tell my brother to move the raft, and all the kids playing nicely on it had to get off, and some were obviously upset about it being gone. But wait, there's more! After interrupting some nice kids' playtime, his demon son continued to harass younger kids, and then when the celebration ended, we all went home. My family went on vacation, and entitled dad left a message on my mom's phone telling her to
move the raft because he couldn't launch his boat.
There are plenty of places to launch boats, and the raft was not in the way. I should have called this man versus raft. Anyway, this family's horrible and neglects their animals on top of how rude they are to everyone. I thought about using a throwaway account, but I don't care if they find this and figure out who I am. They suck. If you read this entire thing, you're the real MVP. You gotta hate when people are throwing their weight around like that for seemingly no reason. I'm not gonna make it about like rich people versus poor people because honestly, it's all about the mindset, you know? I think maybe you'd be more likely to encounter it if you're in a well-to-do neighborhood with houses by a lake, but really you can encounter this type of thing anywhere. I think it's about time to enact some petty revenge and build like 8 different rafts and put them all on the boat launch ramps or whatever. Force entitled dad to get his hands dirty. Anyways, let's jump into the next story. You're shopping for someone else? Yeah, right. So, some context. Because of this pandemic, 2 families within my family's friend group are unable to leave their houses due to one or more of them being immunocompromised. One of the families, A, gets groceries delivered to their house, but sometimes my mom and I will go buy stuff for them. The other family, B, which only consists of 2 people, don't go through as much food and they had a ton saved up. But when they need something, my mom and I will go and buy it for them. This story is about family B. So last week, my mom sent me to the store to not only pick up shopping for our family, but for family B as well. One of the items on the list was hand sanitizer, and because some people are crazy, they will do anything to get the sanitizer. I went into the store fully expecting there not to be any left, but was able to find some, albeit small bottles, of hand sanitizer. Now the sign said 1 bottle per household, and I asked the store employee if it would be alright if I got 2, 1 for my family and 1 for family B. I got the okay and continued to shop. As I was looking for bagels, the bread section was torn apart and things were literally everywhere. This woman, EM, comes up to me and taps me on the shoulder. OP, somewhat freaked out as I didn't see her come up behind me. Sorry, I'll move in a bit. Entitled Mother, why do you have 2 bottles of hand sanitizer in your cart? It's 1 per family. OP, I'm shopping for 2 families right now. I find the bagels I was looking for, put them in my cart, and get started on the shopping for family B, walking away from the Entitled Mother as I pulled up the list. Entitled Mother, hey! She grabs me by the shoulders and yanks me away from my cart. You can't have 2 bottles of hand sanitizer. It's 1 per family. I'm the sanitizer police. OP shaken up as I don't like being grabbed by strangers. Nobody does, dude. And I said I'm shopping for 2 families. The Entitled Mother looks at my cart and scoffs. She reaches in and grabs one of the bottles of hand sanitizer. Entitled Mother, like hell you are. I need this for my family and there's none left, so I'll just be taking this. I grab her arm and yank the bottle from her grasp, put it back in my cart, and start walking off. Entitled Mother, stop her! She just stole from me! Thief! Someone stop her! The store employee stops me and asks what happened. Entitled Mother, that child, pointing at me, is taking 2 bottles of hand sanitizer for 1 family, and there's none left, and I need 1. OP, first off, I'm not a child. Second off, I'm shopping for a family friend who can't leave their house due to a compromised immune system. The store employee, SE, sighs. Store employee, okay, ma'am, referring to me, you can go. Sorry for the inconvenience. I leave, but as I am, I hear the Entitled Mother yelling and berating the store employee. I finished shopping and left the store. Family B was very happy to finally have some hand sanitizer, and so was my mom. Put your hands up. I'm the sanitizer police. I mean, it does kind of suck that lady didn't get any hand sanitizer, but with her attitude, I don't really think that she deserved it. But yeah, I think you made the right call, OP. Just snatch your sanitizer back and disengage. I think it's also pretty cool of the store employees that they believed you, and they're like, yeah, go ahead, get 2 bottles. Then again, they probably don't get paid enough to really care. They definitely don't get paid enough to get yelled at like that. Anyways, that's a rant for another time. Let's get into another story. EK and EM try to kick me off of Arcade Machine. Short background information. This happened in 2017 when House of the Dead Scarlet Dawn was released to arcades. Bro, I love House of the Dead, dude. Yes! Cast: EK Entitled Kid, OP Yours Truly, EM Entitled Mother, NS Nice Stranger. Alright, so 2017 was when the new exciting rail shooter came out, and I wanted to try it out for myself since the arcade was a few miles away. I entered the arcade and searched for the game, and I found it. I put in my cash and began to play. It was a lot of fun considering the last time I played this franchise was when I was a kid. Enter Entitled Kid and Entitled Mother. They saw me playing the game and asked if they could play. I said no because I had 2 life torches left and I wanted to die before giving them a turn. They ask again and I politely decline. They ask again, but this time they threaten me. I can't remember what the threat was. I decline once again and they disappear. Phew. I thought this was all over, but boy, was I an idiot to think that. They call an employee, and she said the Entitled Kid and Entitled Mother were kicked out of the machine by OP. I said that Entitled Kid and Entitled Mother were lying, and the entitled mother starts to say that I was lying and that I had used brutal force on them.
Pretty brutal. Not brutal, really brutal.
Nice stranger saw the whole thing, and he says the truth. Entitled kid and entitled mom are asked to leave, and they threw a huge hissy fit before leaving. I bought Nice Stranger a beer after that one. I don't think entitled kid and entitled mom know how arcade machines work. It's like if I'm playing Tekken and some kid walks up and he's like, oh, you lost the first round, now let me play. It's like, no, dude. I got another chance to come back around. I could get up to 2 more rounds if I win the next one. I would stand my ground. And I don't even like Tekken. I'm way more fond of House of the Dead. But you know, different strokes for different folks. I definitely would have been appreciative for the beer. That sounds like such a fun time. I want to go to the bowling alley, play some rail shooters, drink some beers. God, life is just so good sometimes. Oh, anyways, let's jump into that last story. Entitled mother abandons her child at a camp she didn't sign up for and tells me to send another kid home so that he can stay. Makes good sense. Long-time lurker, first-time poster, etc., etc. This happened before the quarantine. To preface this story, I teach gymnastics in a very affluent part of a very, very big city in Southern California. You know the one. I don't think I do. I'm not that affluent. Most of the kids I work with are either Russian or Israeli and speak Russian or Hebrew. I've encountered a lot of entitled parents in my time at this gym, most of them irritating and not worth posting about it, but there's one Russian mom who is absolutely off her rocker. My boss has some experience with her and doesn't put up with her BS. So the cast, me/OP, me, myself, and I, EM, insane mom, K, her poor son. Every school holiday we have day camps where around 30 kids come to the gym and we play games, practice gymnastics, and generally fart around. Our camps are really popular and usually fill up at least a week in advance. Additionally, we allow parents to use their kids' missed classes or makeups as credit towards a day of camp for a reduced rate. This particular day of camp, I was working at the front desk and we were slammed. I'd already turned away multiple walk-ins because we were over capacity for USAG regulations, which is in violation of our insurance policy. Around 2 hours after the camp started, around 11 a.m., kid walks in the front door by himself. This is weird for 2 reasons. 1, because parents are supposed to come inside and sign their kids in and out, and 2, because entitled mother sent us an email the night before that explicitly instructed us not to enroll kid in camp and to not charge her card. So I asked kid to run outside and ask his mom to please come in so I can sort things out. He opens the door, yells back and forth with her in Russian for a bit, and then closes the door. As entitled mother drives away, kid tells me that entitled mother's going to call me. Great. This is how the most insane phone conversation of my life went. Entitled mother, from an anonymous number might I add. What? OP, hi, I just wanted to speak with you because I'm a bit confused. Last night you sent us an email instructing us not to enroll kid in camp. Entitled mother, yes, because last time you enrolled him you charged my card for $65 one day of camp, and you stole my money. OP, ma'am, that's how much one full day of camp costs. I'm gonna have to ask you to come and pick up your son because we are at capacity for the day. Entitled mother, no, there's no way, your camp is full. I unenrolled him last night when I sent you the email. OP, yeah, but we had a walk-in this morning that took his spot. Entitled mother, no, I sent that email at 10 last night. There's no way your camp is full between now and then. OP, actually we had the last spots taken by a few walk-ins this morning, so we are full. You can't just drop your son off here without paying after instructing us not to enroll him. Entitled mother, there's no way your camp is full. I sent that email at 10 last night. Insert 5 full minutes of me trying to explain to her how spots are limited, and when she gave kid's spot up, it became available for the first person to walk in. Eventually, she seems to get it. Entitled mother, okay, that makes sense. Extended pause. Well, you'll just have to call one of those other parents and tell them you made a mistake and they need to come get their child because kid is special and has been taking classes there for a while and he deserves it. OP, excuse me? That's not how this works. Kid lost his spot when you told us to unenroll him. Entitled Mother. Kid deserves to be there. He is more important than the other kids and has been there longer. So you can call their parents and tell them you made a mistake. OP. No. You need to come get your child. Entitled Mother. But I made plans! OP. I'm sorry, but we don't have room for him because you specifically told us not to enroll him. Entitled Mother. Because last time you steal from me. You took $65 from me. I work hard for my $65. OP. That's how much one day of camp costs. Entitled Mother. No, I wanted to use makeups and you charged my card $65 and stole from me. OP. Ma'am, we don't know you want to use makeups unless you come in and tell us. Most people just use them for another class. Entitled Mother. Oh, that makes sense. Silence. OP. Yeah, so I'm gonna need you to come and pick Kid up. Entitled Mother. But I have to work! I thought she had made plans. OP. I understand that, but we don't have room for Kid. It's against USAG regulations for us to take him. So you can either come get him, or I can have my boss call you. Entitled Mother. No, I don't want to talk to your boss. OP. Then you need to come and get Kid. Entitled Mother. I can't. I have to work. OP. Fine. I'll have my boss call you. Entitled Mother. I don't want to talk to your boss. OP. Either you can come and get Kid, or I can have my boss call you. Entitled Mother. I don't want to talk to your boss. OP. Okay. This conversation is unproductive. I'll have my boss call you. I hung up and called my boss as promised. Her kids still come to class, but she's banned from bringing them to camp unless she walks them in and pays at the beginning of the day. She still constantly brings them in an hour before our half day starts and asks me if I'll be charging her for a half day instead of a full day, and I always politely tell her that no, I'll be charging her for the full day. Now she just speaks to her kids in Russian and has them talk to me for her. Edit. I know everyone's first reaction is that I should call Child Protective Services. I considered it, but my boss asked me to let her handle it. The kid seems fed and clothed and happy. They attend school regularly. They've never shown any signs of abuse despite their insane mother, and all of my coworkers and I have done training to recognize those signs. Child Protective Services would have chalked it up to a misunderstanding and given her a slap on the wrist, considering that we know the kid quite well. What she did was horrible, and if it happened again, I would call Child Protective Services without a question, but it seems she learned her lesson. She learned her lesson with you, OP, but I'm sure she's still up to her old tricks. Just gotta try him out on a new mark. Oy. Also, my Russian voice is horrible, and I apologized. But anyways, I hope that you guys will like, comment, and or subscribe if you did enjoy this episode. Join the Discord server. Follow me on Twitter at DaytonDoes. I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to wash your hands, friends. And until the next time, bye-bye.